Welcome to another Nonsense Wars production. Today we look at set 42179, Planet Earth and Moon in Orbit. This 2024 set costs $75 and contains 526 parts. It depicts an orrery, a mechanical simulation of celestial bodies. In this case, the Sun, the Earth, and the Moon. We shall see how accurate it is at the end. This set is very unusual because it is a Technic set that isn't a vehicle, one of only a handful of such sets, and the first in quite a while. The box opens with punch tabs, and it includes 4 numbered parts bags, the instruction manual, and a sticker sheet, which unfortunately got bent. The price per part seems poor, but the part selection includes a lot of relatively large and potentially expensive parts, including the 2 halves of the Sun, the printed Earth, the dual molded spike style wheels, etc. It also contains a lot of gears, also unusual in an era where most Technic sets rely on linkages instead. Moving on to the build itself, the banana gears, another relatively expensive part, don't even get used as gears. They form a round structural element instead. One of the earliest actual gear stages has a diagonal and incorrect gear spacing. The 8 and 36 tooth gears are slightly further apart than they should be. These days, LEGO tries to avoid connecting too many studs at once in system sets, but they apparently don't care about connecting too many pins at once in Technic sets, and it happens more than once here. We also have to apply stickers evenly around 2 of the rings, though we can align them with these finger greebles on the bigger ring. Speaking of the rings, they somehow have more functional roles than the banana gears. The month ring supports a roller for the Earth-Moon carrier, and the moon phase ring guides several rollers for the moon carrier. The single roller made of a 3-length pin with stop and a pin joiner doesn't roll that well, while the other rollers, made of tiny train wheels pinned with microphones, seem to roll better. The 2 halves of the Sun join together with frictionless pins, probably because of the color. Several steps for the drivetrain include one-to-one callouts, much more common in the Technic sets of the 80s and 90s with more gears. Speaking of the drivetrain, this is the real standout feature of this set, driving 5 other features by our count. 1. The Sun spins. 2. The Earth orbits the Sun. 3. The Earth spins. 4. The Moon orbits the Earth. And 5. The Earth maintains the same tilt as it orbits the Sun. The relative rates at which these spin and move are hard to calculate without diagramming all of the gears, so I have done that here. If I did it correctly, and visually it looks about right, for every turn of the crank, the Sun rotates 1/9. The Earth makes 5/567th of an orbit. The Earth rotates 3 times, and the Moon makes 5/42nd of an orbit. those gear ratios don't factor in drivetrains passing through turntables, which will skew the numbers in practice. An entire separate drivetrain marked in blue maintains the tilt of the Earth throughout its orbit. If one turn of the crank equals 3 days, the Sun rotates once every 27 days, the Moon orbits once every 25 days, and the Earth orbits once every 340 days. This chart shows the simulated periods compared to the actual periods. The orbits of the Earth and Moon are nominally off by about 7 to 8%, but the drivetrains passing through the turntables could make up some of the delta. Finally, while the set does not have official motorization instructions, we of course could not help but try it. Unfortunately, the drivetrain starts to surge a little if we run it slow enough to see the continents, though running it slowly on an encoded motor seemed to give smoother results than gearing down a faster dumb motor. Watching all the gears in the drivetrain is quite fascinating, much like watching all the gears in a fancy GBC module. On that note, this is the end of the video. Please consider subscribing if you like what we do, and have a nice day.